Yo, what is up, guys? XRP is at $1.08 right now on CoinMarketCap. Our first tweet comes from CoinMarketCap. Latest, Raoul Pal called crypto humanity's pension plan, arguing investors have 4 years to own as much as possible before AI rewrites the global economy. Our next tweet comes from BankXRP. Banks are just waiting for the green light. Raoul Pal, once the Clarity Act passes, all the banks are going to come in and build out their crypto rails fast. And which token has been battle tested, SEC cleared, and institutionally held for years? The rails are already built. XRP, let's watch this video.
From when I first got into the space, we said we were going to front run Wall Street. That was 2013. We've always said it, and here they are. When I've been speaking to the sovereign wealth funds here this week, and they've all got crypto on in their books now.
And they're openly talking about their allocations.
And not only that, but the Treasury Secretary of the United States, who was an ex-macro hedge fund manager, friend of mine, he openly talks about how important it is. We've got Donald Trump talking about it. We've got everybody talking about it. We've got every financial institution building on stablecoin rails. We've got once the Clarity Act is passed, then all of the banks will start building out their crypto rails for everything. And if you speak to everybody, the banks need the clarity, the asset managers need the clarity, the corporations need the clarity, everyone needs the clarity of the Clarity Act. Once you get it, it's the green line. They're all waiting for what exactly is, which things are securities, which are not, how does it all work? And once you've got it, we've got a roadmap. And everybody wants to go. Everybody wants to build on these rails, particularly the financial system, because it's so efficient and so fast to do things that they're incentivized to do it.
Smash that subscribe button and hit that like button if you believe XRP will reach $3 again this year. Our next tweet comes from Ripple Zitty. Just then, Wall Street doubles down on XRP. Our next tweet comes from Raoul Pal. Why would you ever sell anything? We are living through the fastest acceleration of technology in all of human history. The financial system is being rebuilt on crypto rails. Agentic identity, robotic identity, human identity, all of it moving on chain. And yet people are still trying to time it. Selling because someone somewhere thinks the liquidity cycle might soften for a bit is bananas. You don't time a technology adoption cycle, you accumulate through it. Every drawdown is a chance to own more of the base layer of the next economy. The one job is to stay in. Vito Julian and I got into all of this on the Journeyman. As ever, please enjoy. Let's watch this video.
That's fine. But really, if we're going from $2.5 trillion to $100 trillion, why the fuck would you ever sell anything? I mean, that's what I keep getting into my head is like, unless you have to or want to, you literally wouldn't. You would just keep finding opportunities where it gets oversold to buy more, because that's where it's going. And if we think about the agent economy and its infinite TAM, we think about the Clarity Act getting passed, we think about the entire fucking financial system building on crypto rails. Think about ID. Think about agentic ID, robotic ID, human ID. Think of all of these things. And you're going to sell it because Raoul and Julian thinks the liquidity cycle is going to slow down for a bit. It's fucking bananas. And I kind of get pissed off with it now. Even though I understand people need it, but when I look at the opportunity and I present it and I talk about it, and we're at this moment in time, the fastest acceleration of technology in all of human history, and we're trying to time technology, is stupid. That's my rant over.
Our next tweet comes from BankXRP. Congrats, Monica Long. Ripple President Monica Long just landed on StableCon's most influential 2026 list, recognized in both issuer and protocol leaders, top women in stablecoins. Her leadership has been central to bringing RLUSD to market and expanding its real-world utility. Well deserved. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Big breaking, Republican Brian Steele announces, I'm optimistic that we get this, the Clarity Act, across the line next week. It's absolutely essential that the United States sets the gold standard for regulations in the digital asset space.
All right, let me ask you about Senate Republicans meeting with President Trump yesterday, hoping to get his stamp of approval on the updated language for the Clarity Act. The House sent it to the Senate a year ago, and Senator Cynthia Lummis was with me here earlier in the week, and she said that this bill will likely be brought to the floor in the next week, Congressman. A lot of people riding on this and business riding on this. You and other members of the Financial Services Committee are in New York to hold a field hearing on this bill. What can you tell us about the Clarity Act?
This is our opportunity to put real and substantive legislation on the floor and provide regulatory clarity in the digital assets space. Again, this is an example of the House doing its job. We passed this now approximately a year ago. The Senate has been struggling to move this forward. I'm optimistic that we get this across the line next week in the United States Senate. It's absolutely essential that the United States sets the gold standard for regulations in the digital asset space, that we unlock so much capital, human capital and financial capital that will come into these markets in the United States of America in a regulatory regime that protects consumers. Clarity does that. It's passed the House. It's time for the Senate to act.
Well, I mean, the Senate is wrangling with Democrats over the language on ethics, Congressman. You know that.
Well, individuals that are concerned about the broader ethics reforms, and I think that there is a need to look at this, actually should be supportive of the bill. If an individual is concerned about how meme coins were treated under President Biden's appointment of Gary Gensler, all the more reason to move forward clarity, to put a regulatory structure in place to make sure that we're regulating good and bad actors. The good actors in the space want the bad actors to be regulated. We all want the bad actors out. The Clarity Act provides a regulatory environment to be able to do just that. And so the individuals that grandstand on the ethics side should be more supportive than anyone else about moving clarity across the line.
Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Breaking: Ripple partner SBI Holdings acquires another crypto exchange for Singapore expansion. CoinHeiko is one of the early crypto platforms in Singapore. It is licensed as a major payment institution. Our next tweet comes from Bitcoin Magazine. New Blockchain Association Board Chair tells Fox there have been a lot of negotiations with Democrats, and there has been a lot of bipartisan support. Once we get this passed, we are going to see an unleashing of economic activity around the crypto space. Let's watch this video.
The Clarity Act and these conflict of interest provisions are critical here, and they need to be acceptable to President Trump. The problem is the Senate Democrats want to put in ethics rules that would ensure that the president and his family and people attached to him can't benefit from any crypto business. I mean, if that's the case, the president's just going to veto it.
Right. We need to have something that is workable for the president. And you have to remember the beauty of the way that they're doing this is the rules apply not just to the president, but also to the Congress. And so this is something that everyone, regardless of who's in power, are going to have to live by. And so it's important they get them done right. I think it is an important issue, though, for the Democrats and one that we do need to see addressed. But I do think they can get there. I mean, we have come so far with this legislation. Since the House passed the Clarity Act a year ago, there have been a lot of negotiations with Democrats. There have been new disclosure provisions added. There's a whole new section on illicit finance. They've beefed up the way that they're going to regulate the spot exchanges. So there has been a lot of bipartisan input into this bill, and it is the best, most comprehensive language we have seen. And I think once we get this passed, we are going to see an unleashing of economic activity around the crypto space. We're going to see an upgrade to our financial services system. We're going to see more traditional institutions adopt crypto technology and integrate it into their services. We're going to see costs come down, and we're going to see transaction speeds go up. And so I think this is a real opportunity. I think this is a legacy-making moment for the president, and I think this is something that both sides of the aisle really do want to get done and that we can get done before the August recess.
Our next tweet comes from Smoke DQG. Swift representatives previously confirmed their partnership with R3 and the utilization of the Corda settler, which supports XRP. Let's watch this video.
My last question is really about emerging technologies, such as APIs and distributed ledger technology. How is that making an impact on cross-border payments?
Well, APIs are a great technology that allow corporates to unlock value. And with GPI, we built in APIs deliberately from the outset so that banks can indeed integrate that tracking information into their portals, and their clients can benefit directly from this visibility thanks to APIs. We're also using APIs to further integrate the GPI experience into DLT, distributed ledger-based ecosystems, or other ecosystems that want to benefit from the global settlement capability that GPI banks provide. In that context, we recently partnered with R3, the blockchain infrastructure software provider, so that their Corda settler can support Swift GPI for this purpose. But actually, it's not so much about technology. Technology is more a means to an end. With Swift GPI, it's more about providing the ability to provide an enhanced experience, to reduce the friction of these payments, to increase their speed. That is actually what Swift GPI delivers.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Ben.
Real quick, if this helped, press the like button. It tells YouTube to show this to people who want the truth now hype. and press the subscribe button if you're done being sold the moon. I've already got your next one right here. Go!